أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Here we are in Pakistan International School Types Virtual Learning System. And this is our book of Social Studies for Class 5, which we are following. Welcome you back, students, from your winter vacation. Now we are again starting our second part of our remaining course. As you know, we have completed lesson number 14 in the last lecture before this winter vacation. Now we are starting from the chapter number 16, the struggle for independence. The War of Independence. The British government in the subcontinent had a large army whose officers were all British. The soldiers were Hindus, Muslims, and Sikh. In 1857, certain events took place that lead to the soldiers' revolt. The soldiers were issued with rifles whose greased bullet had to bitten for loading. The bullets were greased with animal fat, and both Muslims and Hindus objected as lard is forbidden to Muslims and cow for the Hindus. So this was the cause for the War of Independence, that at that time the soldiers were issued the rifles whose bullets were greased. And the grease comes from where? The grease comes from the lard. Lard means a pig fat. So which is, it is sacred for the Muslims, and cow's fat is sacred for the Hindus. So the British government is making the bullets, and they are using with a lard and a cow fat. When the British reacted severely to the soldiers' refusal and punished them due to don't use these type of the bullets, they came out in the open defense. The battle that they fought is called the War of Independence. Many soldiers, so these were the cause for the War of Independence in 1857. So the battle that fought is called the War of Independence. Many soldiers, both Indian and British, were killed in that war. So this is the picture of that time. These were the British soldiers, and peoples were very poor at that time. The Mughal king Bahadur Shah Zafar was an old man. He was captured by the British and sent away in exile to Rangoon in Myanmar. Rangoon is a city or a province in Myanmar, where he died and is buried. The British then took over the country and appointed viceroy to rule. At that time, the emperors of the United All India or subcontinent were Mughals, and the last Mughal emperor was Bahadur Shah, and he was captured at that time, and they captured and they took over the country and appointed their viceroy. In the higher classes, You will read and learn more about this important event in the history of the subcontinent. When the war came to an end in 1858, 1857 it was started and it was eight. And after 1 year in 1858, the British government realized it had to improve things in the subcontinent. Railway lines were built, and one of the biggest railway network of its time spread across India. Telegraph lines were also put up for speedy exchange of news. Education on the British pattern was introduced. The Indian National Congress. Some educated people rightly thought that no progress could be made just by fighting the British. They got together in 1858, 1885 and they started an organization called the Indian National Congress. They felt that by having their own political organization, they could one day rule their own country. Day by day, the Indian National Congress became stronger. Every year, they held a big conference where the members made speeches and more people joined this group. Sometimes the British rulers were not pleased with the speeches of the political leaders and arrested them. They went to jail, came out again, and made more speeches against the British rule. So these were some famous Indian national movement leaders. The National Congress grew and became more powerful. The British government had to listen to what was being said by the leaders and hold discussion with them. In 1942, their leader Mohandas Gandhi, which was then famous Mahatma Gandhi, started the Quit India movement. Who started the Quit India movement? Mohandas Gandhi started the Quit India movement. And this question will also come in our exercise also. So you must learn this one and remember this Quit India movement. This was called for British to leave India. What is the meaning of Quit India movement? Call for the British to leave India. The All India Muslim League. Most of the leaders of the National Congress were Hindus, although there were some Muslim members too. In 1906, long before the Quit India movement began, some Muslim leaders started their own political party. It was called the All India Muslim League. So what were the reasons for the Muslim League? The Muslim believed that if the British left India, the Hindus would take control of the country. What would then be the future for the Muslim in the Hindu country, in the country? So because of why Muslims made the All India Muslim League. These were some Muslim League famous leaders at that time. This is the Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and this is the Allama Iqbal and other famous leaders, their pictures. The Muslims had to make sure that their voice too was heard. They were inspired by the leaders like Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, who had written in support of Muslims after the War of 1857 or War of Independence. Sir Syed was strongly favored of the Muslims educating themselves and improving their situation. He set up the MAO College, which later became Aligarh University. So this was the great leader or great educationist Sir Syed Ahmad Khan became an aspiration for the Pakistan movement. So this leader was the big inspiration for the Pakistan movement. Among the Muslim leaders of this time were Allama Iqbal. Look at this one, the picture of Allama Iqbal, a great poet and a philosopher, and Nawab Waqar al-Mulk, Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar. This is the picture of Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar, Liaquat Ali Khan, and Zafar Ali Khan. Other intellectuals and writers began to unite the Muslims through their writings and speeches. Iqbal, who was knighted by the British and was known as Sir Muhammad Iqbal, put forward the idea of separate state for the Muslims in his speech at Allahabad in 1930. So these are some famous leaders of that time, or we say that the Muslim League leaders, All India Muslim League leaders. In March 1940, at a historic meeting in Lahore, a resolution was passed by the Muslim League calling for a separate state for the Muslims of the subcontinent. The most famous Muslim leader of this time, however, was a lawyer called the Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He and other intelligent, educated Muslim leaders made sure that the Muslims would not be left out of any deals reached with the British. This was not an easy task. Independence. After a long struggle and many discussions with the British, both in India and England, the Hindus and the Muslims gained their independence. A commission was set up by the British to mark the borders of the new countries. Two countries were formed, India and Pakistan. It was decided that the areas where the majority of the population was Muslim would become the part of Pakistan. The rest country became the India or Bharat. The division was known as partition. Millions of people crossed the borders from one side to the other in the single biggest migration in history. Pakistan became an independent country in 14 August 1947. It was in two parts, West Pakistan and East Pakistan. So this is the picture at that time, the partition of the subcontinent. So Pakistan have the two parts, West Pakistan and East Pakistan. It was two parts, West Pakistan and East Pakistan, with India between them. After years of a hard struggle, the Muslims of the subcontinent had joined a country for themselves. So these are some famous pictures of the biggest migration. Look, these pictures, how the people came from, migrated from one side. For example, the Hindus were living on the Pakistan side, they migrated to India, and the Muslims who were living in the majority of the Hindus, they migrated to Pakistan. So these are some pictures of the great or the biggest migration in the history. So how the people cross from one side to another. This is the end of our chapter number 16 reading. Now we are solving its end of chapter questions. 6 questions are given here. Question number 1. What events lead to the War of Independence? We have learned very well. Yes, very good. Its answer is the main events which became the immediate cause of the war was the refusal of the spies to use the grease covered cartridges, grease with fat of pig and cow. So this was the main cause for the War of Independence. Question number Question number 2. Why was the Indian National Congress set up? Its answer is in order to form a platform for a civil and a political dialogue among educated Indians, rightly thought that no progress could be made just by fighting the British. Question number 3. What was the Quit India movement? Its answer is this was a call for the British to leave India. Question number 4. Why was the All India Muslim League started? Answer number 4. Some Muslim leaders started their own political party. Muslims believed that the British left India, the Hindus would take control of the country. Question number 5. Who were the leaders who helped to unite the Muslims? This is the answer number 5. So here by mistaken it is written 4, but it is the answer number 5. So its answer is among the Muslim leaders at this time were Allama Iqbal, Nawab Waqar al-Mulk, Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar, Ali Khan and Zafar Ali Khan and etc. These were the famous leaders of that time for the Muslim. Question number 6. How was the subcontinent divided into two countries? So this is the answer. This is not the 4, but it is the answer number 6. By mistaken, it is written here 5. So this is the answer number 6. In August 1947, the British decided to end their long rule in the Indian subcontinent and to divide it into two separate nations, Muslim majority Pakistan and the Hindu majority India. So this is the end of the question and answers. Now I am giving you little homework assignment. This is the work page. Exercise A, complete this timeline writing the correct dates. So you can read it and complete this timeline of these fill in the blanks when you will read this one and you can find its answers. So you know, War of Independence, you will read it. British government takes control of the India. The Indian National Congress set up. Exercise B, I am solving over here for the work page. Write out short answers for the following. Question number 1. The name of the organization set up by the Indians to win rights. Its answer is Indian National Congress. Question number 2. The leaders of the Quit India movement. Mohandas Gandhi. Question number 3. The founder of the Aligarh University. Its answer is Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Question number 4. The poet who called for a separate Muslim state. Its answer is Allama Muhammad Iqbal. Question number 5. The political party set up for the Indian Muslims. Its answer is All India Muslim League. So this is the end of our chapters learning, chapter number 16. Thank you very much, students. So please join after this lecture, you join the Zoom class. So till then, wish you all the best and good luck.